Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hi guys.
Welcome back to the Black FemFlame channel. We are one down today. Miss Beautiful Alethea, she didn't feel up to it today, so we're sending her love and light and positive energy, and we love you and we miss you, but the show must go on. So today, me and Miss Beautiful Jazz, we are going to talk about our gifts, spiritual gifts that we have received since being on this spiritual journey. If we've had them before, and if they started to change and develop with time since we've met our twin flames. So, without further ado, I'm going to kick us off. Um, me, I definitely had some experiences since I met my twin. I guess initially, when especially when we first figured out that we were when I first figured we first figured out that we were twins, I um I started feeling him. But I think what was happening before then was like this call to him. I don't know if you had that experience because me and my
Right,
twin, we
right.
had distance. So I know like in my marriage, I was feeling like I guess towards the end of the relationship, I was talking to my husband and I was like, I just kind of feel like I have to go on this spiritual journey and this
Mhm.
spiritual path. And at that time, I was really, really religious with him. He was he was like a chief, like a pastor in the church, and we were kind of like,
Right.
we was really heavy in it. And I'm like, I feel like I need to go on a spiritual journey. He was like, well, why don't you just open up the Bible? And I was like, okay, well, I feel like it's more, like I need more than just that. Um, and I didn't understand why. Um, so prior to that, I had always, since I was a little kid, I had always felt like this pull to New York. Like I grew up, and I had a bi-coastal childhood. That's why my accent is so like messed up.
Mhm.
It's like I was born in Florida, but I was raised back and forth from New Jersey and Florida and Philadelphia. So when I went to Florida, I was like, okay, I want to move to New York. When I grow up, mommy, I'm going to move to New York. I'm going to move to New York. And I never knew why I wanted to be in New York. I just felt pulled to New York. And I felt like, I guess, because I wanted to be like really city. So I'm like, New York is the most city place.
Right. New York is the best place to be
Yeah, so
city.
I'm like, it's so city. Like, and then when I saw Crooklyn, and I was like, I gotta go to Brooklyn. That's where it's at, right? Now,
Good.
fast
BK?
fast forward to when I met my twin. My twin is born and raised in Brooklyn, New York, and I'm always wanting to go to New York. And then, like before we had actually met, now we didn't meet in New York. We met online, so I have my all my friends in Florida were from New York. So I'm like, okay, when we became adults, they moved to New York and I was in Jersey or Philadelphia. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come visit you. So I'll always go to New York to visit. So I just felt called to New York, even though
Mhm.
like when I was there, I freaking hated it. I'm like, it's too busy. It's too many people. Like
Right.
buildings are all on top of each other. Like I feel like I'm crowded in a sea of faces. Like it's too much. But I always was coming to New York, and then like I said, I just felt called to New York. And like then meeting him, it was like, you're from New York, like you're from Brooklyn, like that's where he was born and raised. And I'm like, wow, that's like to me, that's crazy. Like I feel like his spirit
Right.
have been calling me like
Too much of a coincidence.
too much of a coincidence. Like Brooklyn, New York, out of all the places on the planet, like I had to be there. So when we met, like and we realized during our journey and we realized that we were twins, um, that's when kind of like the other faculty started coming. Like I started having dreams about him, like especially during separation. Like I have
Right.
dreams about him and he's um every time that I had an issue where I was feeling like down or didn't feel secure in the journey, he would come to me in a dream every single time without fail. He'd come to me and he'd say, okay, he'll hold me. He says, I love you. Like I'm coming. Just wait for me. Just give me time. And then
Right.
I would feel, and it would be like, it wouldn't be like, when you're when you're having a dream and you know that someone is someone, but they don't look like them. You know what I'm saying? Like it was
Right.
him. It was the way he looked. It was the way he talked, and it was the way he moved, and it was him. It was him. Like I remembered, and it was him. And he'd always like hug me and tell me like, "Baby, it's okay. I love you. Like I'm coming. Just give me time." And I'm like, "No, I'm tired of your shit. I'm ready to go." Like,
Right. like when are you coming though?
when are you
Like
coming though?
tomorrow? You saying tomorrow. So I can give you
Tomorrow.
time tonight and you come tomorrow.
Right now, I'm ready. I'm holding my son. I'm waiting for you. Call me. So I'm like, so even all right. So with that, moving forward, like okay, so I wake up and I'm like, okay, all right, he's coming. Give him some time. So I give him his space.
Mm.
But then what I also started noticing, especially during the dark night of the soul, and then evolving out of it, like when I had a second dark night of the soul into the new moon into Gemini this year. So when I woke up and it was new moon into Gemini, I started feeling more empath tendencies. Like I knew I was in like a better space because like dark night of the soul, you're so obsessed and depressed.
Yeah.
So you're just down. So when I came out of it, I'm like, all right, I'm happy, like I'm good, I'm at peace. That's that peace and surrender in the journey and feeling more grounded. So I knew that I was good. But when all of the Black Lives Matter stuff started happening and coming to work and just different things, I started feeling like this absorption of like tension and fear and anger. And I knew it wasn't mine. I'm like,
Right.
what is this? Like, what is this? And I'm like, okay, so apparently I'm a full on empath and that's fun. Like, so it was just a lot.
Hey,
So
being an empath is no joke.
girl,
That's a lot to carry. That's
it's
a
a
lot
lot.
to carry.
Like, I really
Like some days I just fall and I bust out crying. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like sometimes my twin, he comes visit and I'm like, why am I crying? And he'll just be like, Jess, I miss you. And I was like, well, keep that shit over there. Damn. Like, girl, what are you doing?
craziness. We're not even gonna talk about feeling him. Like I would feel him physically, like I would feel him, like I would feel his pain, like or he would feel my pain. Like one time, well, we talking about like telepathic communication between our twins. Like I was having really bad like upper shoulder back pain, like so bad. I was just like, somebody got to give me a massage. Like I'm in so much pain, right? And then I'm communicating with him and he's like, yeah, I was having some, like my back was hurting and it was like my upper back. I was like, what? Like, and he just like the day before I started feeling the pain. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And then once he started feeling better, then I started feeling better. Like, or like, it just, so that was like from the beginning, just feeling each other, like,
Right.
and whatnot, and then not understanding where that was coming from. But the empathy, like with as far as like everybody else, and then I started like meditating and praying. Like that started to be a daily ritual, like something that I had to do to kind of like protect myself and to protect my twin. Because like when you do spiritual work, you do it for your twin as well. So
Right.
when we were in separation, I definitely made sure that I was doing spiritual work for both of us. So once that happened, I guess I did like some deep cleansing, like spiritual cleansing. After this meditation, I did like a kinetic meditation and yoga, and I did like a kinetic, like meditating, like clearing my chakras and everything like that. So
Right.
afterwards, like maybe like an hour later, I started getting flu symptoms. Like my head was hurting, I was in so much pain. I was like, well, what is going on? So I looked it up, and I was like, they said that's what happens when you go through a
Ascension.
spiritual cleanse. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm like an ascension. So that after
Ascension.
that ascension, that's when everything burst wide open.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I know what this is, and I prayed. I'm like, okay, God, I'm gonna accept this, and I'm just gonna take some time to myself. I just took some Tylenol. I just laid down. As soon as I laid down, I started having visions. I had vision of me and him, like past lives with him. Like it was flashes of him and I. Like we were like Egyptian, like royalty. Like both of us had like
Right.
hats, and we were kissing. And I'm just like, and I knew it was us. like it didn't look like us. I guess it did. Like I just knew it was us, and I was experiencing it. And then there was flashes of like numbers, and then I was seeing words, and like I can't remember exactly what the words were right now, but I know that at that time when I was like laying down, trying to like, because my head was pounding, I was having the flu symptoms, and I was body aches, like just so I'm just trying to like just work through it, pray through it, and I'm seeing the flashes of these words, and like I just remember that the words gave me comfort. So I was like, okay, let me just focus on this. And so definitely after that, like it was like crazy, and then really not even knowing what to do with it. Like so, I would feel him when I was meditating. I would sit down. I would just feel him just near me, or I would feel his presence in the room, and I would just talk to him. Like it was so weird, but it felt so comforting, like at home. And
I
then
can definitely understand that.
yeah, like it was just
Definitely understand that, because I used to ask my twin all the time. I was like, "Do you have conversations in your head with me?" Because I definitely have conversations with you. Like when we're in separation, like I'll just be like, "What do you think about this?" Or like, just I'm talking about full blown conversations about how my day went.
You
Like
love the
I'm like, because
like
maybe you'll hear me.
yourself is so perfect. They're loving. They're kind. They're always there. Like you're just like
Yeah,
he's
but like, girl,
yeah.
yes, but my spiritual gifts kicked in when I went through my awakening process. When I was going through my awakening process, I was in between. Like I said, me and my twin both had re-entered a karmic situation, and I was splitting up with my kid's dad, and it would come times where I would like sleep on the couch, just like get away. And girl, like I would see him like standing over me yelling, but I'm like, I would hop up and I'm like, but nobody's there. Girl, his spirit would like literally jump. I'm talking about I would see it do it. I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on, girl? I was terrified. Girl, I was terrified. I'm like, what is this? What is going on?
Let me tell you this crazy thing that happened to me. Like, so when I was in my marriage, I had a real bad time. Like dark night of the soul. I was so not like I was so depressed. I was so low. Like it was the lowest point of my life. So at one point, I took a whole bottle of sleeping pills. Like I was ready to eat it. Like I was done. And as I'm remembering the situation, I'm like, I felt like somebody, like my husband had came in the room, and I told him what happened, and he was very cold and mean to me, even knowing that that was what I had wanted to do. And I felt like there was a presence there, and like as I remember it, I'm like, was somebody else there? Like, because I'm in and out of sleep, and like the presence felt familiar, and now understanding that it was my twin, like feeling like it was him that was there. Like I feel like this presence that has always been with me, protecting me and guiding me throughout my life, different things that I've been going through. When I met him and I realized who it was, I'm like, wow, like you've always been there. Like it's always been you.
Right.
And
Well, I didn't even feel
like,
that. I didn't even feel that way. Because like I said, prior to any of this, I had no knowledge of a twin flame. None at all whatsoever. And even still going through the triggering of the awakening process with my twin, I still didn't completely understand what a twin flame was.
Yeah.
I was still, it was almost like I didn't have time to pay attention to that. Like I was dealing with other stuff and I didn't have time to like really take in this other person I just met.
Yeah.
Like, because it was so much going on at one time. And then from there, exiting that situation, then just like little interactions with my twin, and it will be like the dreams and all kind of stuff, and even just sitting there like and just thinking of a song, and he would bust out singing, and I'm like, why would you do that?
Right?
Where you get that from?
I had a song
Like
pop in my
get out
head.
my like literally get out of my head.
Yeah, like I had a song pop in my head.
Yeah.
We was in separation, and it was like a Whitney Houston song, and it spoke to exactly how I felt at that exact moment. And I was like, I don't be singing Whitney Houston. Like, he sent me a song like as comfort, and I'm like, really? Like, no. Like, I was
Yeah,
still pissed off.
like,
Like,
yeah, yeah, it's definitely crazy. Like I remember, just like this past, um, going into this Lionsgate energy.
yeah.
Like I was getting out of the car, and all of a sudden, like I felt so dizzy. I think we might have talked that day. I was like, I'm so lightheaded. Like I feel like I'm gonna fall out. Like I don't know what's going on. All I did was like literally get out of the car. Like, wait a minute, Jazz. Knowing that I'm more aware now, sit with that. But girl, I was like, here goes spirit once again playing with me, because I already know we finna meet. I'm finna have a dream. Something is finna go down tonight.
Yeah.
I laid down. I went to sleep, and it was like a past life moment, but could have been a present moment. Couldn't figure it out because Super, if you listen, Super, you were in my dream. Girl, like Super was there, Tokyo was there, Bricky was there. It was like we was in New Orleans and we was having like this like flashback thing, because I was like, whoa, like we really going there? Like really?
Oh my
Girl,
God.
it was just, but it'd be amazing. Like since I've been on this journey, like some of the amazing things have happened to me, whether they're whether you consider them good things or whether you consider them bad things, they are still amazing to see and amazing to feel.
I love the
And I'm
experience that you
just
feel
like,
so
oh my
comforting.
gosh.
It's so comforting, especially when you're in separation. Like,
Yes,
it makes you feel so much more rooted, especially during dark night of the soul. And in separation, you feel
yes,
so like, especially if you're not communicating and you're
yes.
in separation, and you just like, and they come to you and they're like, I love you and I'm here. And it's just like,
Separation gave
oh,
me hope. Separation for me and dreams gave me hope. Like I think I'm not even gonna lie. Like I feel like, and I told my twin this. I feel like if it wasn't for you in the 5D communicating with me, this would have been over with like a
giving
long
up.
time ago.
Yes,
Like
yes.
because his 3D to me, and I don't try to rush anything now because I done been through some stuff. So I don't try to rush, but it's almost like, dang, you get
It don't,
weary.
it don't catch up. It don't catch up with the
Yeah, like you
5D.
like,
So
dang,
yeah.
like it's been a long time. Like when are we gonna do this? When are we
Yeah,
gonna
like
do
you gonna
this?
be my
And when are we
boyfriend.
gonna do this? Like, come on now. Like, what you got going on? Like,
I'm waiting TikTok. I'm here, but I'm not going nowhere.
I'm
But I'm
waiting.
anxious
And
and I'm
then you know what?
waiting.
I'll be like, you know what? Forget this. I'm tired of playing with you. You be playing with me. You know what? It's over with. And then all of a sudden you go to sleep
And there
and
you go.
there
I
you
love
go.
you.
And look, girl, the next morning I would be so mad. I would text him. I'd be like, I'm trying you to start doing it. Stop doing it. Like
Yes,
I'm mad with you.
yes.
Like we still beefing. Like we're still beefing. Still beefing.
I'm not talking to
Right.
you.
Right. But it's definitely even with other people, like helping other people has been, the more I've healed, the more I've come into some of my gifts, the more people are attracted to me. The more
Yes, that's what
I'm able to help others.
yes,
And
yes,
it's just
yes.
like,
And then you know in your mission, like find
yes,
like going it. I'm telling you, meditation and prayer has been like my root has been keeping me just grounded because
right.
I communicate with him and like I communicate with him in meditation. And like I just listen to God, like I just quiet, listen to my breathing. I just listen to God, like tell me what it is, and then I hear intuitive messages and stuff. And then even like hearing from him when you do finally have the conversation about your 5D experiences with each or that you've been having with him, and then him sharing them. Like my twin shared with me that he smells me sometimes just out of nowhere. Now I've never had that experience where I remember what he smells like and I smell him. Like he says he just smells me. He misses the way I smell. I'm like, really?
Right.
He's like, it'll just happen out of nowhere. Like I'm just watching TV and I just smell you. Or he says like he told me one time he was laying down and like he felt me on top of him. Like he felt me on top of him. And I was like, well, how did you know that it was me? He's like, it
Mhm.
felt comforting and protective and loving. He's like, it was either you or it was my guardian angel. And I was like, he's like, but it was you. I was like, or we're like one of the same. Like,
one and the same. Yeah. Like we're literally one and the same.
We're one and the same.
Girl, some of my dreams, my twin would be like, Jazz, I can literally picture what you're saying. I'm like, because you were there.
Yes.
Duh.
Yes. Like it's such a beautiful journey. Like you go through so much hell. You go through so much hell, and it's like, okay, you know what? Like I don't want this shit. Like back, I'm good. But the 5D experiences make it all worth it. You're just like, oh my God, like this experience, I've never had this with anybody. And then even if you know union isn't you're in that's not the destiny for you, like having that experience makes you a better person. Just going through that whole 5D experience and having your spiritual gifts and being rooted in whoever you are, whatever energy that you possess, like whatever your polarity is, wherever your balance is. And it's like, I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful.
I am too. Girl, I'm loving the ride. That's what I'm gonna say right now. Not come Saturday when we make this video. Y'all, if I tell you my twin got knots on his head, just bypass that and just be like, look, he played with Jazz that day. He played with Jazz. That's all that happened. He played with Jazz and now he got knots.
He gonna be all right.
Divine Masculine, that's on you.
It's on you. It's all right. But you're gonna be all right. You're gonna be all right. So, Miss Jazz, I see you got your cards out. So, what are we pulling for today? So, that's some of your gifts too. So, those are some
of my gifts.
Your children.
Yes, like she's the only one of, like that's my twin. You know, my other twin. But this has been something that I have picked up since my spiritual journey. Along with being on my twin journey, I've been told by several people I should practice because I can do this. And that's another thing. Like since I've been doing this, I've noticed that even the best reader kind of is like, not too sure about themselves. You know, it all comes with practicing. Like you practice. Like it's a skill. And any skill you have to master. So you practice.
Yeah.
So now I will say being, you know, trying to figure out this 3D thing, you know, how we're gonna move through here. I haven't been all into my spiritual self. Like I need to pick it back up. I have been slacking. I will say that, you guys. I have been slacking. Jazz has been slacking. But we want to get to it. So today we're just gonna pull messages. This is my Divine Moon Empress. If you're listening, Divine Moon Empress, I love her. I watch her tarot readings, her spirit baby readings, like she have everything. And this is her love letter deck. So we're just gonna pull like a couple messages, whatever spirit wants to give us. We're just gonna pull that real quick from our Divine Masculine. So let's see.
Messages from Divine Masculine to Divine Feminine.
Messages from Divine Masculine. So we got one that says, "You make me feel like the luckiest person in the world."
Aww. That's so sweet.
The next one says, "You make me feel things that I've never felt before."
Those definitely partner with each other.
Definitely.
Yeah. Out of all the cards in the deck, those definitely work together.
Right. Girl. I'm like, I always tell my twin, I'm like, don't make me go to spirit on you because you know I will. And he'll be like, "Just stop picking in my head. Stop doing it." And it says, the last one is, "You are much more beautiful than you know."
Aww.
Divine Master, you're so sweet today.
So sweet today.
Yep, y'all. That is Black FemFlames tonight. Spiritual gifts.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. What do you think we're gonna do next on Saturday? What do you want to do Saturday?
Saturday. Let's see.
Let's see. We'll see. We're gonna
We'll
chit
see.
chat.
We'll
Well,
see.
guys,
Might have a special guest by Saturday. Let's see.
we shall see. Let's see what we're gonna do. All
Let's
right.
see.
So we're going to do uploads on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
see you guys. Thank you so much. Mwah.
Bye, guys.
Adios.